Hey, everyone. Coach Curtis Phelan here. I hope you're having an awesome and blessed day. It's Tuesday. I hope you had an awesome Monday. Exciting day today. It's about being selfish. Okay. So, we're going to learn today how being selfish is actually selfish. Okay. So, how we serve others by being selfish. Okay. And whether you, well, we'll talk about this. Okay. So, that's what we're going to do today. Today will be fairly quick. So, I want you to picture this. Um, Excuse me. So let's imagine this right here. This represents you and I in our ordinary world, right? Our day to day world. What we're doing today is right here. Okay, so picture this. Now I draw this on the board, but I couldn't find my dry erase markers. I don't know where they are. So anyway, so picture this, right? This is where we are, our ordinary world, you and me, right? Today, right now. Now we embark on what we talked about yesterday was the hero's journey towards a purpose. So there's here we are now, our ideal world. Then there's the unlived life, or the desire, the goal, the purpose, the calling that we've talked about that we want to pursue. And then there's your hero's journey to achieve it. Right? We've got to go through this hero's journey. So when we start working towards a purpose, we need to consider two things. Okay. First, you need to ask yourself. First, you need to ask yourself, what do you actually want? That's the first thing. What do you want? Before the how, that's the easy part. Okay, it's the what and the why are the hardest. Okay, so what do you actually want? Now, a lot of us, um, we might not have asked this question because we're feeling guilty about it. Like, no. I want to serve others, right? I'm all about serving others. So it's not about what I want, it's what other people want, right? A lot of times in business and as an entrepreneur, we're always thinking about, we always want to serve, we want to help others, and it's all about what do my clients want, what do my students want, what do my customers want. And in reality, we have to first, we always, and we'll make more sense of this today, but we're always about what we want first, okay? Regardless of whether you believe that or think it's bad or good, we're going to talk about that today. So you got to come from the place, why do you want this? Because if you dig deep enough, no matter whether you're wanting to help others, serve others, give away to charity, whatever, it always, if you dig deep enough, like, why do you want that? Why do you want that? Why do you want that? Well, I want to help others. Why do you want to help others? Oh, because, I'll be able to feed people. Well, why do you want that? So that they can live. Oh, why do you want that? Ultimately, it comes down to a feeling that you're going to feel, that it's going to give you. Okay, so everything we do is selfish. Okay, um, so I just got to check my notes so I don't miss any of this that I wrote down here. So most of us, right, we spend our lives trying to serve others. So my question for you today, okay, is what do you want? What do you want? We first start with what you want, and then you'll see how this serves others. Okay, so what do you want? What do you desire the most? Okay, so we need to, give yourself permission, okay, to ask this question without considering others. Just for now, right? Just what do you want? Forget about serving the world and whatever, right? Feeding the hungry, whatever, all the awesome stuff we do, right? Ask yourself, what do I want? What do I need? If a great analogy just came to my mind, right? Is it's the old metaphor of being on an airplane, right? And you have the oxygen masks drop down when something goes wrong in the airplane, right? I don't think I've ever had that happen to me, but that's what happens, right? The oxygen mask drops down, and what do they tell you to do, right? They always tell you put your mask on first, because if you don't and you pass out, you can't help the person next to you. So you put your mask on first, and that's selfish. But it's not selfish because you serve others, right? You put the mask on, you're okay. Now you can help your mom, your grandmother, your kids, whoever, the hurt person over there. Now you can help them because you've taken care of yourself so that you can serve others at a greater level, right? So enough on that. So that's the first question. The next one is, and we'll dive deeper into this later, but it's how do you get it? So it's what do I want, and then how do I get it? So right now we're focused on the what. Now, so there's the what, what do I? There's the what, and then there's the why, and then there's the how. Okay, so have you ever studied Simon Sinek? So he's got a great book. I think it's called Start with Why or something like that. But anyways, Simon emphasizes, okay, starting with why. Okay, so begin with understanding what why you want something. So what do I want, and then why do I want it? Okay, and we need to be honest with ourselves. Okay, even if it feels uncomfortable. Like you might feel uncomfortable saying, I feel kind of horrible thinking about why I want it, right? What I want, why I want it, right? And that's selfish. That's ego. That's whatever that society has trained us to think. And as we understand this more today, you'll see that it's not selfish. Okay, you actually can help people at a higher level if you do it for you start with the reality of this is why you're doing something, right? Like I said, it's ultimately usually if you keep asking yourself, why do I want this? Why do I want that? Right? What do I want? Why do I want it? Why do I want that? 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 And you keep digging and digging deep enough, it usually comes down to a feeling, emotion, something you want to feel, right? So society may teach us otherwise, but your selfish desire is the reason behind what you want. Okay, now if you dig down, like I said, you keep asking yourself. So these are just some of my notes. I'm just making sure I don't miss anything. I wrote down, if you dig down and keep asking yourself why you want something, you'll find out typically it's because of the way you believe it's going to make you feel. That's the way I worded it when I wrote down. Okay, so I want you to acknowledge and embrace it. The being selfish. Why do I want this? And then, what do I want? And then why do I want it? Not at first, right? And then we'll think about others. But first, what do I want? Why do I want it? Okay, so that's number one, or one and two, right? So it may really make a lot of us uncomfortable at first, but we kind of got to start with there and be real and factual. Okay, society, it really deems selfishness as negative, and like I said, I'm giving you permission to embrace your selfish desires today. Okay, so if nobody's giving you permission to be selfish today, I'm giving you permission. Okay, because you'll be able to help more people that way. So consider this: pursuing our own goals despite feeling uncomfortable, okay, it leads to significant contributions in the lives of others. Okay, so think about it in terms of your own experiences. Okay, so for instance, in my pursuit of coaching, right, so I got into coaching not to change someone else's life, to be honest with you. I had destroyed my life back in my 20s. Long story short, I ended up becoming homeless, living in Miami. I'm in Naples now. Moved over to Miami with a couple friends. They couldn't hack it over there. They left, and then it just went downhill from there, right? At the time, I had alcohol addiction, and I was in my 20s, and I was partying, and I thought it was normal, but it wasn't. It was an addiction. And then I ended up losing everything, my job, my condo, everything, and ended up living, being homeless, sleeping on people's couches, and it was a nightmare. So I got into personal development, reading books and stuff because of an infomercial I saw with my original mentor, Tony Robbins, and the reason I got into it at first was to turn my life around. Okay, so turning my life around put me in a position being selfish. I was very selfish at that time because I was turning my life around. I had to improve me. I had to overcome alcoholism. I had to get a good paying job and a house and the girl and everything I needed, right? But then at that point it wasn't fulfilling, so I had to add to that. And what I added was I was in a position where I could help others. I became a coach, and anyway, so I got into coaching. It was really a selfish reason. I wanted to become successful. I said, I'd love to be like Tony Robbins and help, and then it was, I want to be like that and then help all these people around the world. It wasn't, hey, I want to help all these people, so I'll become this. No, I'll become this, and then I'll be able to help a lot of people. So anyways, so the same goes for business, right? So my initial goal when I left Tony and started my own business is I wanted to be successful, work for myself, not have a boss. It was all selfish stuff, right? It wasn't, hey, I'm going to leave Tony Robbins because I'm going to help more people, because that wasn't the truth. Like, you can't, the amount of clients I had at the time, because I had the team behind me, we got to a point where I had 120 coaching clients. That, by the way, that is almost impossible for somebody to maintain more than, with total support behind you. That's high energy, standing up, coaching people one after the other, all day long. I mean, literally morning to evening, 6 days a week, total burnout, right? After 2 years, I was, that's not possible, right? So none of the other coaches could do it. Um, and it burned me out. Like I almost just quit coaching. I'm like, I don't ever want to. Like I would go home at the end of the night. I don't share this a lot, but I would go at the home. I remember going home at the end of those nights, or just disappearing because there's people. It was a big community of us. Um, in the Robbins world, and I had to go hide. Like I just went to hide. I just wanted to get away. Like at the end of the day, I didn't want to talk to a soul. Like I wanted to go in my room, sit in a corner in a dark room. Like literally, that's what it was like. So I don't recommend that to anybody. We figured that most coaches at that level could handle between 40 to 60 clients comfortably, effectively, efficiently. And that's just having someone hand you clients. You just get on the phone, coach them, and you're done. And then you have all this support team around it. Working for yourself, maybe 10 to 20 clients is the maximum. Okay, to be effective and efficient, if you're coaching someone one-on-one, especially what I do is help business owners, grow their revenue and their profit. I also help business coaches, build their coaching business. 10 to 15 clients is really comfortable for most coaches. That's probably 20 to 30 hours of coaching a week. That's good when you're by yourself. And then if you want to scale your business up, you need to hire other coaches, salespeople. Then you start building that team to leverage your time and stuff. So anyways, enough on that. I don't know why I got off on that. I figured, a lot of coaches are probably watching this. So my initial goal was selfish. Like I said, I wanted to be successful, work for myself. Pursuing that goal with dedication, it not only fulfilled my personal desires, my personal needs, right? Like it was so fulfilling on all levels. Now that I recall, it's so difficult to use that community. Like several of the coaches that there was a group of us founding coaches for Tony, and several of them are still coaches and they're still working for Tony because it's so hard to leave that community. That community is fulfilling on all levels, emotionally, mentally, physically, except for financially. That may sound difficult, right? But working for someone else, you're not going to make the financial goals that you need going and working for yourself. I think at that time we were making like $25 a coaching session. It was just not. It was not financially rewarding living in San Diego in La Jolla area. Okay, let's put it that way. So anyways, it was just scraping by because a lot of times we had to pay for our own things, our own ways to. We had to go to events and all that stuff. So anyways, enough on that. So anyways, yeah. So pursuing that goal fulfilled me, but then that allowed me to coach others, and the ripple effect that created, being selfish and starting my own coaching practice and going out and helping clients and coaching business owners, especially business owners. Like if you think about coaching a business owner, and that's why I'm in business coaching now. It's and honestly, I'll be honest with you. Initially, I got into business coaching. I said, I need to coach people that have some money. Like if I want to make over 6 figures a year, I need to coach business owners, right? They can afford coaching, right? Most your average person, that's kind of a luxury. When COVID hit, a lot of coaches lost a lot of their clients. If you're a coach on here, you probably agree, especially business coaches, because most coaches they work in the, I would call the psychology realm. Right? Even a lot of business coaches, they are life coaches for business owners. And that's great, working on their mindset and all that cool stuff. But if you're a really good coach, I can solve that stuff in 20, 30 minutes max. You've been stuck in your business. Let's have a session. Boom, you're done. You're rocking and rolling. You're kicking ass. So how do you keep that client for 2, 3, 4, 5 years or a year, right? Most coaches, it's just a matter of months before they're going to lose a client because if you're not putting at least 2 to 3 times your monthly coaching fee in that business owner's pocket, it's just not a good return on investment for them, right? So if they're paying you $1,000 or $5,000 or whatever a month, and you're not putting 2 to 3 times that in their pocket, it's not worth it to them. Yeah, you can make them feel good, make them perform more, maybe they'll increase sales because everyone's peak performing, but that's just a piece of the puzzle in business. You got to learn about cutting costs. If you improve sales and marketing and that you increase revenue, you got to adjust costs and all these other areas of business. There's actually 40 different areas of business you need to know about. So if you're in business coaching, it's going to be short-lived if you don't learn how to grow a business, if you don't know I found that the hard way. I found that out the hard way. So anyways, so enough on that. So you got to be selfish so you can serve others at a higher level. Oh, where I was going with that. So let me check my notes. Yeah. So where I was going with that is, when you're coaching a business owner, for example, and you can relate this to whoever you coach if you're a coach, but if you're coaching business owners, you not only help the business owner in their personal life, you help them in their business. So when you're helping them in their personal life, you're affecting their children, their employees, their customers, because they're being a better person, right? And if they're growing their business, and they're making more profit in their business, they can give more, they can contribute more, right? They typically they'll start contributing to their community. They'll start building homeless shelters. They'll start feeding kids in Africa, whatever. So they start doing that. So then there's a ripple effect. So it goes beyond the business owner. It goes to their families, right? Because they come home happier, more fulfilled. They got more time with their kids, their husband or wife or whoever. They're friends, so they have a more enriching life. So they're affected, and they come from a different space. So they're, enriching their families' lives, their friends' lives, also their employees, right? So their employees probably making more money, or they're happier at work because the boss is happier, right? And then that affects their families, and it's a ripple effect. And then you think about their customers. So if a business owner, that's why I love working with business owners, because the ripple effect, it's just beyond what we can do ourselves. Because then the business owner, their clients, right, their customers, it's going to ripple effect to them. Now the customers are going to be more satisfied. They're going to be happier. That's going to affect, they're going to buy better products or have better service. And so they're going to be, that's going to extend to their family, to their friends. I mean, just imagine that if you imagine a spider web or whatever, that ripple effect of how it goes out, right? You throw a rock in a pond and it just ripples out, right? It's just going to affect a larger amount of people. So anyways, enough on that. So I wanted to share a message that I heard from Brooke Castillo. If you don't know Brooke Castillo, as she owns, I believe now today, it's the biggest life coaches training company, certification school. Okay, it's called Life Coaching School on the planet. Okay, and she emphasizes that pursuing worldly goals is a path of self-evolution. Okay, so she challenges the notion that money goals are opposed to spiritual growth. Right? A lot of us think, well, money goals, that's not very spiritual, and we try to fight that. So she highlights that such goals, they force you to overcome self-doubt, fear, concerns about others, their opinions, things like that. So setting big goals triggers, self-doubt, disbelief, discomfort. And to overcome that, you have to grow spiritually. You have to grow, personally. It's a collective growth, So actually money, setting money goals, it is spiritual growth. You have to grow spiritually, emotionally, mentally, to achieve those things. It's not just a how do I do this. You have to grow as a person. You're not going to make more money. You're not going to increase your finances if you don't work on your mindset and you don't grow spiritually. It's just not going to happen. Okay, so now I recently met this woman. I almost worked with her. I don't know, she's doing she kind of wasn't sure what she's doing, but she's amazing. Her name is Annie Grace. She's an expert at helping people overcome addiction. So she's written this book. She's got this course, and it's helping a lot of people overcome things like alcoholism and addiction and all kinds of addictions and things like that. So she points out that the myth of selfishness, being bad, it keeps us weak. Okay? So every action, even altruistic actions, okay, they have a selfish element to them. Okay? So giving to charity feels good. Pursuing your own goals contributes to personal growth and positive change. Selfishness in its context is not selfish at all. Like we talked about the mask, right? The oxygen mask metaphor. It's about claiming your desires and making a greater impact. Okay? So to wrap up today, understand that pursuing your desires. Sorry, I forgot. I was going to do a call with somebody, and I think they just messaged me. So I got to jump off. So to wrap up today, understanding that pursuing your desires is not selfish. Okay, it's a crucial part of personal growth and contribution to others. We have to be selfish first so that we can contribute on a greater level. So feel okay. I'm giving you permission today to feel okay about being selfish at first, because then you'll be able to serve at a higher level. You'll be able to give more, serve more, do more to help others. Okay? So it's about having faith in the purpose placed in your heart and trusting that pursuing it, okay, will not only fulfill your desires, but also positively impact the lives of those around you. Okay, let me read that one more time before I go. It's about having faith in the purpose or your calling that's been placed in your heart, and trusting that pursuing it, stepping into it, like we talked about before, if you don't, you're going to be punished for it. But if you step into it and trusting and have that faith that pursuing your selfish desires, it's going to fulfill those desires, and it's going to positively impact those of the lives around you, right? You become more, you be more, you can do more, and share more and give more, okay? So embrace your selfishness today and recognize that it is a force for positive change. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you like this. Comment or share if you know somebody this might help. Or if you'd like to dive deeper into it, message me. But thanks for being here, everybody. I greatly appreciate you taking the short time here to watch. And you all have an amazing, blessed day. Be selfish a little bit today so that you can serve others, and have an awesome day. Bye-bye.